The following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre.
You're listening to 94.9 Rima Central Coast 11, coming up to 12 minutes past 10. As I said just before the news at the top of the hour, we are speaking to Katelyn from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. So I'm going to start by wishing you good morning, Katelyn. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. What's life like at Dooralong in January? Hot?
Yeah, very hot, but very peaceful.
Yeah. You've not been affected badly by the fires or the smoke, have you, out there?
No, not at the moment.
No. I'm imagining the pool gets pretty good workout at this time of the year.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. How long have you been there, Katelyn?
Almost 4 months.
4 months. That's a fair old time, isn't it?
Yeah.
About halfway through your programme, something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. Okay, Katelyn, we know that you don't go to Dooralong for a holiday. We know that you're there for a reason. And you were telling me off air that it was drugs and alcohol.
Yes, mainly just drugs.
Mainly just the drugs. That's what brought you to Dooralong. And you're one of these people that sort of sought out Dooralong and booked yourself in. You weren't ordered together by the court or anything
No, it was
like
all
that.
self-admit.
Yeah. Which shows a strength of will and character and determination, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's turn the clock back and a little bit and find out what it is that sort of brought you to Dooralong. When did the drugs become a really sort of issue for you in your life?
2015. I lost my 3 jobs that I was working. My car, I fell asleep at the wheel and smashed it and ended up losing everything with that. So all my structured life had just become unmanageable, and
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? You know, our lives can just sort of unravel almost at the drop of a hat just through one incident, can't they?
Yeah.
So you say you lost your 3 jobs, and more than that, you lost your routine and your structures.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's when you turned to drugs.
Yeah, more than
That's
usual.
when you stepped it up, shall we say?
Yes.
That's when it became an issue for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody say, Katelyn, we think you're hitting the drugs a little bit too much here?
No.
So there was no break, no break on you?
No, definitely not. I suppose no one really knew how intense I was on the drugs. But, yeah.
And what were the drugs doing for you? There must have been a reason. Were they giving you an escape? Did they make you feel good? What was happening for you?
Yeah, I guess it was just to escape, like, my feelings. Growing up on my own and very independently, and it kind of just helped me to, like, adapt to time and managing everything at once. And
yeah. We hear that so often that people started either with alcohol or drugs, almost as a form of medication, self-medication, which is bad. Go to the doctors to get your medication, but they were trying to either blot things out or just trying to feel better about themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was the situation for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did things then stabilise after you had that bit of a sort of, that hiatus with losing your 3 jobs?
No, it all spiralled.
It got worse, did it?
Yeah.
What happened?
I lost where I was living. I had to move out. I had nowhere to move to. I had nowhere for my stuff, so I had to get rid of it all. I ended up meeting my ex-partner, and I thought he was Beaut.
The man of your dreams.
Yeah, very supportive.
Yeah, kind-hearted. Here's somebody that I can see a future with.
Yeah, someone who let me stay with him.
Provided that help when you really needed it.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's a but.
Yeah.
But what happened?
It wasn't long after being with him, so a few weeks in, I found out I was pregnant, and then all dramas started, and I found out I was in a very abusive relationship straight away, which was very scary.
And when you say abusive, do you mean emotionally, psychologically, or physically?
Mostly mentally, and then physically.
So he did hit you?
Yes.
Yeah. So this guy, you had no inkling that this was part of his character at all? You thought, he's a good, decent guy, I've got a future with him, or I can see a future for him? You have a baby together,
Yeah.
and then the violence starts.
Yeah. I felt very sorry for him. Like, he was trying to see his other 2 children to his ex-partner and seeing him down and seeing him very emotional about it. Kind of got me thinking, well, maybe he is a good bloke and I could help him.
But that didn't turn out to be the case.
No.
And we have talked to people who've been in abusive relationships in the past, and perhaps you can explain this for us. They talked about feeling trapped in that relationship.
Yes.
What do they mean? Trapped in what way?
It's like being in confined space. You have nowhere to turn, really. You just got to take it how it comes, and you don't get a choice.
Yeah. And people would say, and perhaps your friends and family would have said, if you'd mentioned to them, they would have said, well, why don't you just leave him?
Yeah, a few did. But where would I go?
Yeah. So it's easier said than done, isn't it? Because I don't know, but perhaps in other situations, they control the money, so you would have no money.
Yes, I found I barely had anything.
You have nowhere to go.
No.
And he has threatened violence upon you.
Yes, and towards friends and family as well. And
so it gets worse.
Yes.
If you leave me, I'll go around to your friends and family.
Well, he never really said that, but he did intimidate them and scare them, and said that if they helped me, that he'd...
How long were you in that situation?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
When you just totally lost control and lost you're disempowered completely, aren't you?
Yes, I felt very alone.
Yeah. Did you reach out to any sort of agencies?
Yes, I did. I reached out to the Family and Protections, Lifeline, drug and alcohol, everything really.
Any help?
A little bit, yeah. Lots of support in just push through the day and try not to lose all thoughts. And
so it was support in the here and now.
Yeah.
But the big decisions only you can make.
Yes.
Look, we don't want to spend too much time talking about this awful situation. Obviously, at some point you decided this can't go on. What was a trigger for you to say, I don't care who he threatens or what he threatens, I've got to get out?
It was when I lost my son, I lost my house, I lost my dog. Well, had to surrender my dog to a family member, and I had nothing left. I was sick of everything. I was really over it.
And when you say lost your son, we better explain to the listeners, he'd been taken into care by dogs because of the situation that you're in. Yeah. And at that point, a decision is made by you. I've got to do something with my life.
Yeah.
How did you find out about Dooralong?
Well, he actually entered the program 6 months ago, and that's when I heard about this Dooralong. And I looked into it knowing like he wasn't in it anymore, and I put my name down on the list and determined to come.
Was there a long waiting list?
I waited about 3 months.
Yeah, that was a hard 3 months, I would imagine.
Yes, so I had my name everywhere, really.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with check-ins and all that.
So you tried other places, and I know you were telling me earlier that you had done other rehabs and things like that. So eventually Dooralong said yes?
Yes. And
that was 4 months ago?
Yes.
And since then things have turned a corner for you?
Yeah, things are looking a lot better.
Well, the time is 26 minutes and 18 seconds past 10. That's precise enough for you. We're talking to Katelyn this morning. Explain to us, just before that music track, explain to us the abusive relationship that she was in, the way she found, to some extent, an escape through drugs, and how she eventually found her way to Dooralong. And you mentioned earlier, Katelyn, that you've got a little boy and that he was taken into care. Before we go any further, just to put everybody's minds at rest, where is your little boy now?
He's with my mother.
So he's back in your life?
Yes.
Yeah. And you had a good Christmas with him, I believe.
Yes, I did. It was lovely.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's 3.5.
I bet he gets spoiled rotten by your mum.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
He's grandma's boy for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So we're pleased about that. Okay. So 4 months ago, you crossed the threshold into Dooralong. What were your first impressions?
It was like being at home. So, like where my son is, he's up the mountain, so it just feels like I'm
the bush setting, the
Yeah.
country setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And home is a safe place, isn't it? And it's a safe place, Dooralong.
Yes, very
Yeah.
safe.
Very safe. You've been to other rehabs. Dooralong would be a bit different to those.
Yeah, so I've done Who's at Cessnock, and that's very different to in here. It's a smaller building.
Yeah,
less
and a
people.
shorter course.
Yes, it's only 4 months, but I didn't feel it was for me.
Which is why you're at Dooralong at the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah. Did you, like some people, have any thoughts of, this isn't going to work, I'm leaving, during that first week? Because I know you have to do a detox first, and that can be a challenge in
Yeah.
the first few weeks at Dooralong.
Yeah, detox was very, I guess, I got very anxious because I had to travel to Sydney, to William Booth, and I've never been to Sydney on my own, especially by train, at 6 o'clock in the morning. So.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be anxiety making for you.
Yes.
And that's a week, isn't it?
Yeah.
A detox.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that?
It was very
tough?
comforting.
Comforting.
Yes, lots of food and nice people.
Yeah. Okay, so you're at Dooralong. If you had to sum up in a few words or a few sentences what's good about the sort of treatment you get at Dooralong, what would you say?
Very supportive, very comforting, and very smooth.
Very smooth.
Yes, like it's a smooth sort of sail. You don't feel pushed and...
Right. You can
Yeah.
go at your own pace,
Yes.
and you can take yourself off into the bush if you need some me time.
Well, yeah, parts of the property.
Yeah.
Parts we're not allowed at, but
Oh, of course, no, you got to stay on the grounds. but
Yes.
They're fairly extensive grounds, aren't
yes,
they? Yeah. So you do your morning, I think you do all the group work.
yes.
How did you find that?
I've just levelled up, so it's becoming more in depth with our inner feelings and more reasonable sort of conversations, and it's not more of like an education, it's more like talking about what's going on for us. And
Right, so you've had the education bit and now the sort of peeling away the layers of the onion to get to the real you.
yes,
Yeah. Is that scary?
a little bit.
Yeah. Sort of having to articulate and sort of put into words, feelings that you've perhaps repressed and buried for so long. I'd find that really challenging, I must be honest.
Yeah, it is.
It is. But that's why you're at Dooralong, I guess, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
part of the treatment.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
learning to actually feel again and
Feel again.
and
Yeah.
sit with them.
Yeah. Are you engaging, or will you engage in some of the other programs they have there? I know they have anger management courses and relationship courses and all sorts of other sort of courses there.
Yeah, I've just done the domestic violence and change
right.
program,
Yeah.
the anger management, love, shame, spirituality. I've done my white card, and I'm getting my license back, and I'm about to do another course, the shark cage, and
The shark cage.
yes, it's another domestic violence one.
Okay.
And also tuning into kids. So there's kids programs, and there's lots of stuff that can happen.
You're really taking you're really saying yes to all the courses that are on
Yes,
offer, aren't you?
true.
And some of those would be very relevant to you, the domestic violence ones and the ones, like kids and things. Did that help to explain, certainly not excuse, but did it help to explain the situation you're
Yes,
in?
yeah.
You can see it with a clearer eye of what was going on in that relationship.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and that's a help.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of help.
Good. And also, of course, they will have you earning your keep in some way. What do they have you doing?
I work on property, so I maintain the gardens and help with maintenance around the property and that.
Yeah. Hard work in this heat.
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
lovely.
It's something you enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah. You're a country girl.
Yeah, Yeah.
So you love that sort of side of things.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're halfway through now. We've talked about some of the courses that you've been doing there and the group work. The other thing that they do at Dooralong, they don't just look after your body and your mind, which we've talked about. They also engage with your spirit. So tell me what the first chapel night was like for you, because here you come, you don't know anything. Wednesday evening comes round, you're told to go to chapel, and then it's full on, isn't it?
Yes.
What on earth did you make of it?
I was very overwhelmed, but I wasn't scared. I was open for it, and of course I sat up the back.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
First time I think I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very comforting, lots of love in the room.
Exactly.
It's a very positive feeling being in that room. And
yes. Are you still on the back row?
No, I'm down the front now.
That's right. Each week you move a little bit closer to the front. Oh, you're on the front row now, are you?
No, just one back.
All right. You're sort of, you're making your way to the front row. Yeah. And how does that whole spirituality, the higher power that they talk about on the 12 Steps program, how does all that sit with you?
Very, I guess, easy. Like I look out the window, and that's my higher power, like just our environment, where we're staying,
the creation, the power of the nature. Yeah. Do you go to one of the local Salvos churches?
Yes, I go to Bonnells Bay.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it's a lovely environment too.
Yeah, nice people.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah. What about the music though? Is that your style of music?
Yeah, it's starting to be.
It's starting to be, yeah. But it's not, well, the music's important, but like you say, it's the people that make the place, isn't it?
Yes.
What's good, what's so nice about the people there?
They're very encouraging, very supportive, and very open. It doesn't matter what happens, they're still there for you.
Yeah. Is that how you expected Christians to treat you?
No, I was expecting to have to be on my knees praying all the time, not up singing, dancing.
And going, Katelyn,
yes.
What have you done?
Yeah.
It's not like that.
No. You get to sing and dance and smile and laugh. And
eat cakes and slices and biscuits.
Of course.
Of course, because it's a church and you always put on kilos whenever you join a church.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, we're going to break for some more music and we'll come back. We'll talk more with Katelyn about what her hopes for the future are and what her plans for her and her little boy. What's your little boy's name?
Cohen.
We're talking to Katelyn from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. Katelyn is sort of grabbing every course that's on offer at Dooralong with both arms. She's been there 4 months. Have other people noticed a difference in you, Katelyn?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah, Mum at Christmas noticed a difference?
Yep.
Yeah. In what way? What do they say? What's changed about you?
They're saying they're getting their daughter back. And
oh, that's lovely.
I've now got my brother back in my life.
Oh,
and
that's beautiful.
I'm very, very loved.
Yeah, and you can feel that now.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the old Katelyn.
Yes, she's coming back for sure.
That's great, isn't it? Yeah. So you've probably got about another 4 months. So really, there's a lot. Well, as you will know, there's still a lot of work to do.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. You say that you're sort of doing courses with a view to sort of finding employment. What are you thinking of doing when you leave?
I'm not too sure. I was thinking maybe traffic controlling, just to get a bit more qualifications and travel a little bit. And
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they give you, I know they do so many great things out at Dooralong, but presumably they give you some sort of career advice and things like that, or help you with courses at college?
They can help you with training at TAFE and get you into courses. They bring TAFE people out to Dooralong.
I didn't know that. I know I've spoken to people who say they're doing a TAFE course, but I thought they were going to TAFE, but TAFE comes to you?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So, what would you say about the Salvos?
I reckon they're wonderful people.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, wonderful company.
It is, isn't it? It's an amazing organisation. Here we are in the middle of the bushfires, and there's so many of the other workers for Salvos, really helping people in a practical way. Yeah. Here they are, they're helping you with your addictions, but they're also out on the front line where all the bushfires are, just providing food and cups of tea for the firefighters. They're terrific, aren't they?
Yes, they're lovely. They're even helping to feed the wildlife as well.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's really bad, isn't it? Well, what was the figure yesterday I heard on the radio? They're talking about over 1 billion animals have lost their lives.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's get back to you, Katelyn. Your son, you told me his name was Cohen.
Yes.
He's back in your life. He must be a pretty strong motivation to get yourself clean and keep yourself clean, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes, he wants to come and join me at Dooralong, and he was very upset that he couldn't come with me after Christmas.
Oh, he wanted to be with his mum.
Yes.
Does he get to visit you?
Yeah, he's come down before, and my mum stayed down here for the night to make it easier.
Yeah.
Because she's 3 hours away.
Oh, it's quite a distance, isn't it?
Yes.
Up the Hunter Valley, you were telling me?
Yes.
But 3 hours, it's a long drive there and back in the day, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So she stayed overnight and brought Cohen with her?
Yes. Yep.
And that was good for you?
Yes, it was. Running around the property and
he'd have
showing everything, and in the pool and...
Yeah, poking sticks at the snakes. Yeah. So what's next for you? You've got these 4 months to do. Is there anything that you really feel that needs to be done for you before you graduate from Dooralong?
Just stable, sort of safe accommodation. I need to try and grasp and try and find a new environment so I can start fresh, I guess.
Yeah. Because there is a risk, and I know the salvos are aware of it and don't allow people to sort of fall into the trap. But you could get yourself clean, you could think, and genuinely be really positive, but unless you're going out into a safe environment with good support networks in place, it's all going to unravel. Or there's a danger it will unravel, isn't there?
Yes, yeah.
So the salvos will, I think they put together an exit plan or something, a discharge plan.
Yeah, they help you with your relapse prevention and like your exit plan and where you're going to go, what you're going to do, your meetings and options available, and they support you.
Yeah. So, are you positive for the future?
Yes.
If I'd have asked you that question 5 months ago, what would you have said?
I would have said, what future?
It's a big change in 4 months from what future to being excited and positive, isn't it?
Yes.
You've done a lot of hard work. I know the salvos are there, and God is with you as well. But you've done a lot of hard work.
Yep.
You've turned a corner.
Yes.
Yeah. And with God on your side and with a good support network, you will just go from strength to strength.
Yes, I'm getting stronger by the day.
Excellent. That is beautiful. It's been a really inspiring story, Katelyn, because the situation that you described, and I know you didn't go into the worst of it, being in that abusive relationship, physically abusive relationship for 4 years and more, and it is not easy, but you made a decision and now you're positive for the future.
Yes, definitely.
So, all strength to you. Thank you for coming in and sharing that story. It's been really inspirational.
You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 rema.cc.